Let's start off with Barclays Bank making big news yesterday, announcing that it's cutting 200 management level staff, or about 5% of its workforce. Run us through market reaction to that news, because we know the last time they made such an announcement, that stock took quite a big hit.
Well, we have seen the stock flatten over the last week, and I think, expectedly it's going to be a one-off cost, which will probably save them some money going forward. But at the end of the day, the fact that they're doing some staff cuts points towards a more conservative outlook, which was rather surprising in my view. I think that we have seen more of the foreign-owned banks take a more conservative stance in their strategies after the credit crunch crisis and the bearish period, while we've seen the local banks continue with their expansion strategies.
Is this a good or a bad thing in your books? Because the bank's peers have seen an average growth in their loan books, for example, of 20%, while Barclays has been negative since the last quarter of 2008. Any fear that they're falling behind the curve as the economy slowly starts picking up?
Yeah, which is actually an effect that I blame on the fact that they are going conservative rather than joining their peers in the fray for, increasing their unbanked and increasing their loan book. I think we've also seen the more conservative banks not do as well in times of boom, and the conservative banks do better in the times of a bust in the economy. And since we're in a boom period, I would be expecting them to be looking more aggressive rather than conservative.
Of course, the company reviewing its entire structure to better manage, it says, the strategic direction of the business. With that, we saw it selling off its custody business to rival Standard Chartered at the end of last year as well. What's your view on Barclays right now? Would you be buying at this stage?
Well, I would be looking for it to be bottoming out towards the end of the month. And for those investors who are looking at shorter term investments, then it would be a buy at that point. While we have already seen various investors taking positions on Barclays with the expectation that the earnings from that sale of their custodial business will actually derive some benefits in terms of dividends for them. However, I think going forward, we are going to be watching as to how the actual downsizing is going to affect them in terms of efficiency and in terms of costs.
Of course, when it comes down to it, the focus is really on the banking sector right now as the market anticipates numbers out of the sector, earnings reports. A stock pick for you within that banking arena at this stage?
Well, I'm still betting on Cooperative Bank, despite the fact that they are quite high at the moment, their price. I think we are in a boom period, which means we are going to be seeing higher highs in terms of prices. If we are expecting the NSE 20 index to approach the 5,000 mark towards the middle of the year, then that means we are still expecting various stocks to hit higher highs. Equity Bank, as usual, remains one of my favorites, despite the fact that a lot of people think I favor it too much. I also think that we need to start looking at other banks like Diamond Trust, NIC, and Stanbic to see how they're going to play out at the moment. KCB, of course, falls into one of my picks at the moment in the financial sector, that is.